Hey, how you doing? I just had something I wanted to get off my chest concerning title update number 5. It's no secret that Amatsu has been teased for Sunbreak, but if you are an avid stalker of the Monster Hunter League subreddit, you'll know that Amatsu has been confirmed for quite some time now. Another interesting tidbit is that title update 5 is more than likely the final update for Monster Hunter Rise. As such, Amatsu has to be, at least by recent trends, a spectacle, much like Fatalis and Iceborne. But how much of a spectacle will it truly be? There is most certainly an ooh-ah factor at play when these monsters are designed, as we've gotten revamps of the Metal Wraths, Black Dragons, and even returning monsters with interesting mechanics on display. Par for the course that as time goes on and Capcom's systems improve, so too does the quality of the work created by the Monster Hunter teams. There is no doubt that Amatsu will have new attacks, mechanics, gear, and the like, but what is the limit on that? The fantasy of Amatsu is that it is a storm dragon capable of changing the weather and allowing itself to fly through doing so, as well as shooting water out of its body. However, as its name is the Storm Dragon, you would be forgiven for thinking that it's much more powerful than Kushala in that regard. Lore-wise, yeah. Gameplay-wise, it leaves much to be desired. Amatsu's hunt has 2 phases that depend on how much health it has remaining. In Phase 1, it uses physical attacks that involve its fins, tail, and/or a full-body charge, as well as projectiles like water blobs and pressurized water rays. It also has an attack that has the potential to one-shot you by sucking you in before creating a massive tornado, which can be avoided if you manage to deal enough damage to knock it down. Phase 2 is indicated by a different roar and a change in music where it gains new attacks by way of spawning tornadoes and hovering out of range to fire pressurized water that leaves an explosion behind. The reason I bring up Kushala is because its theme is solidified perfectly in its gameplay. It can spout tornadoes and shoot wind balls, an aura of wind that causes pressure knockback, you get the point. In the lore and ecology, Amatsu is a terrifying beast that can channel the wind around him, yet when you fight it, these abilities are underutilized. Not that they are not present, just underutilized. And while that may have worked back then, today's standards are going to be a little different, especially since Fatalis came out. It's hard enough for Rise to thrive with casuals, since World is their introduction to the series and the genre. There are going to be a lot of unnecessary comparisons and expectations. Yes, Amatsu should be revamped to fit the mold of today's Elder Dragon, but that doesn't mean it has to do what Fatalis did. Fatalis is a living legend and arguably one of the most important monsters in the series. It may just look like your typical European dragon, but they managed to do so much more with its motif and world. The way they played into both its biology and its lore was exactly the nail they needed to hammer in, and that's all they have to do with Amatsu. Not every Elder Dragon's hunt is treated the same. Dalamadur is a giant snake that you have to climb a mountain to hit. Lao Shan Lung is a siege where both repelling and slaying the monster are an option. Zora Magdaros is hot garbage, you cannot change my mind. So long as the execution is handled well, there shouldn't be too much of an uproar. Do more wind-related attacks, have better water beams, cause knockback through wind pressure, get angry, and then get super angry and expand from there. If the hunt is entertaining, then it doesn't need a big presentation to mask it. As long as it's not one-shotting with every single attack because hee hee haha is a challenge, then I'm good. I can imagine the equipment is likely to stay the same. The weapons have always been high attack, negative affinity, low water element, and minimal highest sharpness for its rarity. The armor will most definitely have latent power, but as for everything else, that's total mystery. The way that Rise has set up their unique armor skill system, it will most likely play into latent power and its other abilities on the set. Anyway, I just wanted to get that out because I'm well aware that even if Amatsu comes out to be great, there will still be a preconceived notion on how it's not Fatalis. Until next time.